Hey guys, welcome in, maybe welcome back. I am not really a commentary channel, but this situation happened a little bit ago and I just kind of wanted to talk about it. So around 2 weeks ago, all of this kind of started coming onto my TikTok For You page. There is an influencer named Brooklyn Larson, and she posts mainly mom content. She has a young son named Rome, and she was posting content prepping for her new baby, Rocky. It was very cute, spending time with her son and nesting before her little one arrived, as she was full term at this point and getting ready to go into labor. Now, Brooklyn posted that before Rocky, and I believe after Rome, she sadly had a miscarriage. So Rocky is her rainbow baby. She's very excited. Unfortunately, little Rocky did not make it. Also, I doubt she's seeing this, but Brooklyn, if you are, my heart goes out to you and your family. I hope your recovery is going smooth and you are in my thoughts. Now, Happiest Baby is a popular baby brand. When I was pregnant, I looked into getting their SNOO Bassinet, which is what we're talking about today. But I ended up not getting it as it's just out of my budget. These things are over $1,000. Now, the cool thing is they rock your baby to sleep and they keep them on their back for safe sleep. And I technically believe that the SNOO Bassinet is considered a medical device. So the plan was she would make content with it, promote the bassinet with Rocky when he arrived. After finding out about Brooklyn's stillborn delivery, they asked for the bassinet back. Hello? This mother is having her world shook to the ground and you're worried about a bassinet. If I was in her situation, I don't think I could even enter the nursery or let alone go and change it and remove items from it. I think that would kill me inside. Now, I just finished watching Severance season 2 last week. And as I'm writing this, I'm thinking about some of the final episodes, specifically Kyte Baby and Cold Harbor. Severance spoilers ahead. If you care, here's a timestamp to skip. I do recommend watching it if you have the time. It's a great show. But basically, in the episode Kyte Baby, we find out how Gemma and Mark were attempting to have a baby. They were unsuccessful. They go through IVF. Eventually, Gemma gets pregnant, but she ends up having a miscarriage. And after what feels like forever of them trying to have a baby, they just give up. They're tired. And there's a scene where Gemma is just having to listen to Mark attempt to take down this crib, and it's just traumatizing. It is so sad. And then we find out in the episode Cold Harbor that the final test of all of her severances is, can she take no, don't rub against it. The final test of all of Gemma's severancing is, can she take apart their baby's crib without caring? Can she take apart the crib without getting emotional? And that's how deeply rooted this trauma and this event is rooted in her psyche. I know Severance is just a show, and there's plenty of real life stories of people who go through this every day. But one, I can't miss an opportunity to talk about Severance. And two, just pointing out how vile corporations are. These corporations, these evil corporations, are not fiction. They are very, very much reality. And when you watch shows like this and you think, God, what, that's so ridiculous that this company is portrayed so evil. These companies just do not care about you. In the end, all they care about are their pockets. Now, Brooklyn is not the one who actually came out about the Happiest Baby and the SNOO Bassinet. Her sister, Kenna posted an Instagram story that is obviously now not up, detailing how Happiest Baby demanded it back after informing them that Rocky was unfortunately stillborn. Now, Happiest Baby has made comments on this situation. According to today.com, they said, "We cannot express more emphatically our deepest sympathy for what she and her family have been going through. What was intended to be an effort to provide assistance clearly was a mistake that added to Brooklyn's grief." Now, this statement is... they're trying to say that they were offering to take it back as some sort of like favor, because some families would rather remove the items from the home to make the process easier on them. I'm sorry, but that is the family's decision, not yours. Like, when you initiate that conversation, it will never come off as anything other than greed. Now, this situation made me think of something that happened about a year ago with another baby company. Kyte Baby is a brand mostly known for their like bamboo clothing, and that's supposed to grow with your kids, supposed to last longer. I never bought them because simply their clothes were just too expensive for the same reason. I just couldn't justify it. Even if they lasted longer than traditional clothing, I just never found myself wanting to splurge. Now, I did own one Kyte product, and that was a sleep sack, and it was gifted to me during my baby shower. So the quality was nice, I guess. It was a nice sleep sack, but I don't know. I just feel like other sleep sacks did the same thing. Now, the first bit of drama that I heard about them was like there was lead found in their zippers, but they did release a statement about this saying that yes, there is lead, but it's under the legal limit. You can do your own research on that if you want. I don't know. I don't think that's like the biggest deal. Now, the issue I really want to talk about started back in late 2023. There is a woman named Marissa Hughes, and she works for Kyte. Now, she is attempting to start a family, and sadly, she is unable to conceive naturally. She and her husband decide to adopt a child.
Adopting! Yay!
And they start a GoFundMe to assist with the adoption funds, which is where we kind of get a lot of their story. So they end up adopting a 22-week-old baby who's in the NICU. Now, if you're maybe just unfamiliar with pregnancy and that whole process and how long it normally takes, a full-term baby is at usually 40 weeks, right? So this baby is tiny, gonna need a lot of assistance. And this baby's 9 hours away. So they pack up and they go see their baby. Now, Marissa's been in a play with Kyte for about 9 months. She contacts them, requests 2 weeks PTO, and this was approved. Now, apparently after these 2 weeks, little Judah is still in the NICU. Marissa, not wanting to take more PTO, requests from Kyte if she can do her position remotely. She just wants to be able to remain with her baby, and it makes sense. When she was denied the request, they kind of just dug at her about her not giving birth to the baby, and kind of making it seem like they didn't really consider her a mother because it's not her baby. So not only is Marissa dealing with adoption funds and a really expensive NICU stay, now she's dealing with unemployment. And like the average cost of a NICU stay is around $20,000, and that's average. This baby's only 22 weeks old and is going to need the highest level of care that hospital has to offer. So this bill is probably going to easily come over like $100,000, if not more, probably. Now, Marissa's sister is the one who posted all of this on social media. Marissa herself wasn't the one to put this story out to the public. And once the story blew up and people were posting about it and saying, don't support Kyte Baby, Kyte Baby's founder, Ying, decided to post an apology video, and that's where things got worse.
Hey guys, it's Ying. I wanted to hop on here to sincerely apologize to Marissa for how her parental leave was communicated and handled in the midst of her incredible journey of adoption and starting a family. We treat biological and non-biological parents equally. Through both my personal and professional experiences, I have the utmost respect for babies, families, and the adoption community. Truly happy for her adoption and wish the best to her and her family. Thank you for your time and for listening.
So in her first apology, for one, people didn't really like that it was super scripted, because she was definitely clearly like reading from a script, right? This wasn't off her brain. It didn't sound sincere. And honestly, it just seems like she was kind of wanting, at least from my thoughts, it almost seems like she's wanting to put the fault in other members of the company and not take any blame herself.
It was my oversight that she didn't feel supported, as we always have intended.
Now, she says it's her fault that she didn't oversee the situation correctly, but we find out in her second apology that she was the one who fully denied the request. Like, it was her fault that this request was denied. So Ooh. So yeah, her second apology wasn't seen any better. Like, she was definitely off script, but I think people were just kind of over it at this point. The other thing people didn't like about her second apology is that whenever Ying mentions Marissa's baby, she says adopted baby.
You to take care of her adopted baby.
Like, she doesn't just say Marissa's baby. She specifically points out that the baby is adopted, and that just rubbed people the wrong way naturally when that was already kind of the issue in the first place.
So I just posted a official apology on TikTok, and the comments were right. It was scripted. I memorized it. I just basically just read it. It wasn't sincere, and I've decided to go off script and just tell you exactly what happened. I've been thinking about what went wrong, and I think sincerely what went wrong was how we treated Marissa. And I was the one that made the decision to veto her request to go remote while she has to stay in NICU to take care of her adopted baby. And when I think back, this was a terrible decision. I was insensitive, selfish, and was only focused on the fact that her job was had always been done on site, and I did not see the possibility of doing it remotely. However, having a little bit of sensitivity, understanding, and flexibility would have accommodated her, but I did not accommodate her. So I cannot imagine the stress she had to go through, not having the option to go back to work and having to deal with a newborn in NICU. So thinking back, it really was a terrible mistake. I own 100% of that. I know people are going to say, well, now that it's backlashed and you're just saving, face or saving the company. I think all of it is true, but at the end of the day, as human beings, as a mom, as a female owner of the business, and especially a baby business, I feel like I need to set the record straight, that I fully realize the impact of my action, my decision, my short-sightedness, that I did not accommodate Marissa fully and did not even reach out to her personally, didn't even talk to her at all about what happened to her until today.
Oh yeah, that's another thing too, is that all of this was like so public. Like, Ying just didn't try to reach out to Marissa privately and really just put that apology out to the public first rather than trying to make things right privately.
And I really want to apologize to her and to the community, and I would really want to take this opportunity to say that I'm sorry, and I would rethink about the whole thing and review our company's HR policy and procedures. I would like to make absolutely positive changes. And in fact, I think a lot of comments are right. We need to set the example because we are in the baby business. I want to be above and beyond in protecting women and giving them the right protection and benefits when they're having babies. So give me some time. I'm going to go through the policies and HR stuff and just come up with a better policy for all our employees. And as for Marissa, she's a fantastic woman. She has the biggest heart. And I've said multiple times to multiple people, including her family, that I love her as a worker. I enjoy working with her every day. She's one of the few people that I actually see every day on site. I just really want to apologize to her again, that for the feelings and the damages that I have done. And we will continue to pay you the benefits as well as the remote position that you have requested. I understand if you don't want to come back to work anymore, but we will continue to pay you as if you were working remotely for us for those hours that you proposed until you're ready to come back. And your position, your original position, is always open for you when you come back.
Now, it's always hard with these types of apologies because, I mean, she does sound genuinely embarrassed, genuinely upset, but would she have done the same thing if this wasn't blasted all over social media? Would she be doing the same thing if she wasn't losing money because of this? It's hard to say, right? So who knows? And now she said she would offer to pay Marissa her salary. I don't know if that happened. I looked up Marissa's Instagram, but it's private. So I have no idea if she ended up getting this money, if she ended up being supported. I hope so. But I definitely just, unfortunately, just unable to see if there was any follow through with that. So yeah, that whole situation was just really shitty. And hearing the thing about Happiest Baby really just kind of made me think about that. Just goes to show you cannot trust a company. You cannot trust companies, man. It just made me so sad. I am adopted myself. My mom is my adoptive mother, and I can I just say I never call her my adopted mother unless I'm like trying to put things like into perspective. Like, I have no idea who my bio mom is, and the only time I ever say bio mom and adoptive mom is exactly in these situations when I'm, for some whatever reason, talking about it. Like, my mom is my mom. That's my mom. My dad is my dad. That is my dad. And you know what, man? I found out who my biological father was a few years ago, and I had to block him because he's a fucking nutcase. So I guess it really just worked out in my favor. Truly, even in cancel culture, there is no bad press. Like, I feel like very few people that I can think of that have truly been like canceled, and no companies I feel like have ever really been canceled. Let me know your thoughts on this. Also, do you like this type of video? I was thinking maybe every other week I could do a commentary video or something. I don't know. I'm still working this out. I hope you all have a great day, great week, great life, and I'll see you next week. Bye.